What is up guys, CardHacker here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the ChaosGallantmon deck slash Digimon deck with the support from EX4 and BT-13. So with the new support we did get quite a lot of stuff for the Galantmon archetype, and some of them can be used for the ChaosGallantmon deck. So let's get right into the deck profile. So for the level 2s, we're running 4 of the Digimon. This is still the best starter for the Dukemon archetype, so running 4 of these. Obviously I wish there was a purple one that we can use so that we can use most of, more of the cards in the pool, but it's okay. This will be good for now. Next, for the level 6s, we're running 3 of the Digimon from BT5. This is actually the heart and soul of the deck. This helps you start off a lot of the combos, and I wish this was treated as a Galantmon, but it's not. But that's okay. It would be really, really good if it was, but it's okay. We're running 3 of these. On evolution, you can build top 5 cards on both players' decks, so this will help expedite your BT-13 Galantmon plays. And on deletion, you'll be able to play if you have a Tamer in the field, you can play a Dukemon card in its name that's level 6. And without paying its cost. So you can use this to do a lot of cheeky Galantmon plays. You can use this to attack, and then if it dies, you can just play the Galantmon with Rush and then go for another attack. Or if you want to kind of save it for your opponent, or you have something big on your opponent's board, you can go into the EX4 Galantmon to do some deletion. So the EX4 Galantmon has the 2 abilities. One of them is activates in the trash, and that activates at the end of your turn. If you have a Dukemon with evolution source cards, you'll be able to delete that and play this without paying its cost. And then on play, you can pop something 7k or less, and for every 10 cards you and your opponent have in your trash, you can increase the cap by 2,000. So later on in the game, you'll be able to pop pretty much everything with this. So it's a really, really good removal option if you have a Galantmon body on the board. So that's why I really wish that this one has the name, but it doesn't, which doesn't work as well. But that's okay. If you pop this somehow, you can still play this, and then pop your opponent's Digimon. So you have to go around it a little bit, but it still works. You can go this into this, but not this into this. So it's a little bit clunky sometimes, but it's spicy. Next, we are running 1 ChaosGallantmon from BT5. This one has 2 evolution, 2 skills as well. One is on evolution, you can pop one of your opponent's level 5 on the board, as long as you pop one of yours as well. And whenever something is popped on your field, something else that's popped on your field, you can play a level 3 Digimon without paying its cost, but it can't activate its on-play abilities. So this card will kind of hinder. It doesn't benefit from not letting you search, because ideally you would like to activate your on-play skills. But being able to play something is better than nothing. So we're running 1 of these. This is a pretty situational card. It used to be the heart of the deck, but it's not really anymore, just because there's too many restrictions on it. And I really hope we get another one with a similar effect soon. But we got this one recently, so that doesn't seem likely. But a man can wish. Next, we are running 2 of the Dukemon from BT-13. This is one of your main win cons, but we're only running 2 because we don't have that much space, and too many of these actually clog up your hand, and they're not too good. The great thing about this deck is, even if these are in your trash, you can still use them with your Digimon. And even if you want to play it from your hand, there's ways to retrieve it. So it's pretty good. For those who don't know, if you don't have any Digimon on the field, you can play this card and reduce its play cost for every 5 cards you and your opponent have in your trash, and you can reduce it by 2. So it builds up pretty quickly, especially with this build. And it has Rush, as well as on evolution, on play, and on attack. You can pop something 6k or less. And if you don't pop something 6k or less, you can pop something 13k or above. So the threshold is a little bit weird, but that's okay. Our main deleter is the EX4 ChaosGallantmon in this deck, so that's okay. And so our Gallantmon from BT-13 is just mainly used to poke holes in your opponent, mainly taking advantage of that rush. Next for the level 5s, we're running 4 of the War Growlmon. This one lets you mill top 3 on evolution. You and your opponent mill top 3. And then if there's 5 in either of your trash, not combined, either, you can play a Guilmon or Takato without paying its cost. So this is one of your main cards to set up your Tamers or Guilmons if you need some Guilmons on the field, if you're prepping for a ChaosGallantmon play. So it's pretty good for that. And next we're running 4 of the Black War Growlmon from BT-5. Now I was debating whether I would want to run this or the EX4, mainly because this one helps you mill 3 on both players' field, and you can pop. But I feel like the inherit skill for this card is a little bit more beneficial for this deck, mainly because if you do play the Guilmon and you Digivolve on top of this later, you can use the Guilmon will be used either for attacking with this and then popping it to unsuspend to attack again, and hopefully this crashes and you can play your Gallantmon, or you can prep your Guilmon for a future play, or if you have Takato on the field, you can also use that. But keep in mind, this one also prevents your Digimon from having its on-play effect, so that's a little bit of a downside again. Most of the early release date purple on-play cards do restrict you from having your on-play abilities, but now everything doesn't have that restriction anymore. So again, I hope we have another new version of this soon, but that's okay. Next for the level 4s, running 4 of the Black Growlmon. On evolution, mill 2 cards from both players' decks, and then you can fetch a Guilmon, Growlmon, or Dukemon card or Gallantmon card back to your hand. And on deletion, you can grab a Guilmon, Growlmon, or a Gallantmon card back to your hand. So this card is really good for the deck as well. Yeah, a really good card. Next, we are going to be running 4 of the EX3 Growlmon. Now this card I haven't run in my other Gallantmon decks, but we're running this mainly because it is purple and red, but it's actually the inherit skill is not horrible. When you attack, you can pop one of your Digimon to get +1 security. So it's not the best card, but it's okay. And also on evolution, you can pop something 3k or less, and if you don't pop anything with this card's effect, you can mill the top 2 cards of both you and your opponent's decks. So this will help a little bit. Ideally, you would want to Digivolve into this one, but this one is a nice alternative. Really wish we will have another purple-red Growlmon soon, but this one is okay. Next, for the other level 4, running 4 of the Eyesmon Scatter Mode. Mainly running this because majority of our rookies are red-purple, so this can ideally Digivolve on top of that. But even if you don't, this is just a 4 cost to on-play, so you're not giving your opponent too much memory, especially if they have a memory setter on the field. So this is a pretty good card, especially since you can filter out your deck pretty quickly. So running 3 of these. If you don't want to run this, you can run another Growlmon if you want, but I like the option to filter your hand. Next, for the level 3s, we're running 4 of the Guilmon from EX2. Obviously, this is mainly here to help you search for combo pieces and your Takatos, and you can Digivolve this on top of your Digimon, so that's fine if you need it. Next, we're also running 4 of the EX3 Guilmon. This one activates on deletion. You can pop something 3k or less, or if you don't pop anything, you can mill 2 cards off both you and your opponent's deck. So this card is here, bypass the restriction that you get from your ChaosGallantmon and your Black War Growlmon, since you can delete this and it'll still get effect, because this is not on play effect. So it's pretty good for that. If you don't like this, you can actually run the BT-12 Guilmon instead, but that will increase your chances of not being able to Digivolve on top of your Guilmon with your Eismon. So that's one reason why I'm not running that. But the rookies are actually pretty flexible because we're not given too much options. Next, for the other rookies, we're running 4 of the EX4 Guilmon. Mainly, this is here to for the rush plays near the end. You can use it in a lot of ways, but yeah, mainly this will be here for that. Even if you hardcast it, it'll be pretty good. So keep in mind, one of the only ways you can play this and have it keep its effect is with the EX3. Where is it? EX3 Mega Greymon. So you can use this to get some pot shots in. But alternatively, this is just here as a red-purple rookie that we can play around with. Last but not least, we're running 1 of the BT-5 Guilmon. Mainly, we're just running 1 because you cannot Digivolve this on top of the Digimon. But it's still a pretty decent card. You can still have it in the trash and just loop it for its purposes when you have your Blackwood Greymon or your ChaosGallantmon. So we're still running 1 for that. If you want to have it a little more consistent, you can kind of bump this down to 3 or 2 even and increase the numbers. But in that case, you might increase your chances of bricking with this because you cannot Digivolve on top of the Digimon. Next, let's move on to the Tamers. We're running 4 of the Memory Set of Takatos. If alternatively, you can run the Yamato instead. But we're running this because there's still a chance that you can potentially warp if you need it. Not likely, but there's a chance. So we're running 2 of these. Another way is we have 4 of the Takatos from EX2. We're still doing quite a lot of deleting in this deck, so running 4 of these. Just so we can potentially end your turn, pop something, and then tap these and then resume your turn. So there's that. Next, for the options, we're running 3 of the Megiddo Flame. So this one lets you pop 1 level 4 or lower Digimon, and if you pop 1 of your own, you can pop something level 6 or lower instead. So mainly we're going to use this to pop our Megiddomon if we don't manage to crash it, as long as your opponent has something on the field. And the security skill is also pretty good. It lets you play a Guilmon for free from your trash, so helps you set up for some plays. And last but not least, we're running 1 Call from the Dark just so you can recycle some pieces. And also used to pop your Digimon if you need it. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a very, very fun deck to play. It's not the most consistent, and if you're planning to play a consistent Galmon deck, I definitely recommend you watch my red version instead. But either way, this is a really fun deck to play, and it's a fun deck to experiment with while we are waiting for new set to come out. But this is Karnaku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!